Well, good evening and welcome to the Reach Across Johnson County segment on JOCO Community Radio. You can join us live here on Facebook or download the TuneIn Radio app. It's free, where we are live 365 on JOCO Community Radio, the voice of Johnson County, Texas. And to share a little bit about Reach, our mission is to support safe and healthy choices vital to the well-being of our youth, families, and community. This show will guide you, educate you, and inspire you to be a part of the solution and to reach out and help make a difference in our communities. What began as a local movement in the city of Midlothian grew to include programs throughout Ellis County with only a few years and has eventually expanded into our neighboring Johnson County, Texas. And so here we are today. I am Shari Phillips. I'm one of your hosts today, and I'll let my co-host introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nikki Bowman, and I'm excited to be here. I feel like it's been a minute.
I know it has been a minute for both of us, actually. So it's good to be back. And today, well, the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and uh, our guest was supposed to come on in the last week of April, and then I ended up getting sick, and the weather got bad, and anyhow, we were going to celebrate Alcohol Awareness Month, and so Emma Dugas from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, she's going to be joining us here shortly, and we're going to go ahead and do that episode because the information she's got is very timely. We're going to talk about Power Talk 21, their campaign that they've got going on, and ways to be able to talk to your kids about various things. So, but I guess we can go ahead and talk about some of the things that we've got coming up. I know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have several events. It's exciting because our coalition, the longer that we've been a part of Johnson County, we're just expanding and more people are finding out about Reach, and that's exciting. So that means we're
Yes.
reaching more people. So this weekend we will be participating in City on a Hill, which is sponsored or I guess put on by Lisa Swartz with Crazy 8 Ministry. So that's
Okay.
exciting. So anybody that wants to come out, I think it starts at 10 a.m. I believe. I know that we're going to be
Okay.
out there by 9:30 or 9 a.m., but it's going to be at the Burleson High School parking lot. And I've participated a few years, so there'll be all kinds of vendors and fun things to do for the family. So please come join us on City on the Hill in Burleson. And then next weekend, we're partnering with the Alvarado Fire Department on the square. And there's you can kind of go over some of the stuff on that paper if you want, Shari. It's
Yeah,
going to be
there's
exciting. We've been
yeah,
planning this for about 6 months.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's going into it. There's going to be Safe Kids of North Texas, which is led by Cook's Children. They're going to be out. They're going to have information on drowning prevention, car safety, or car seat safety, poison control, and firearm safety. Atmos Energy is going to be out there. Encore regarding electrical safety. There's going to be
So kind of
yeah.
what's exciting about this is the different, I guess it's going to be like how do I explain it? There's going to be all these different companies, like the fire trucks are going to be out there. Atmos Energy will have, and Encore will have like certain specialty cars and trucks that
Oh, cool.
so it's going to be like a parking lot on the square where the kids can actually see like the service vehicles.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
it kind of reminds me of like the Cars cartoon, I think, when I think about everything and how
Yeah.
the kids, when you're a little kid, you look at these cars and are so exciting. I
Oh,
know
yes.
even my husband is a grown man, and when we're going past like a big bulldozer or something,
He wants to check it
he
out.
wants to tell everybody in the car what that car or that,
What it does.
what it does. So I think that's kind of what this is going to be is it's going to be set up where all these different companies and I guess so they have on here touch a truck. So like a helicopter's coming, dump truck. So the kids
Oh, wow.
in the community, it's just neat to see Alvarado really getting involved and partnering with the community and wanting to do things for the families and just to be able to socialize. And the police department is going to be handing out hot dogs and drinks and stuff. So it's exciting. But yes, so then we've also asked other vendors, of course, there's going to be live music. There's going to be there's going to be pet adoptions out there, balloons, face painting, Reach will be there, of course. And it's just going to be a fun event. We've been planning it for a while and we're hoping to have the square packed and just busy again. Cause, I know that Reach, we've kind of spoken about what COVID brought. And I know it's like weird to still be talking about, the pandemic, but one of the things like Shari, is before the pandemic, whenever we would work with the community, we could only talk about substances and
Yeah,
vaping and drugs and alcohol. Whereas after COVID, now we can actually partner with different community events and do mental
mental
health,
health,
and
yeah,
that's
which is
one.
so important. There's so many things are affected by, mental health and, of course, it's constantly in the news, so I'm glad that there's more of awareness
Mhm.
and reducing the stigma about
Mhm.
dealing with mental health. I mean, whether you have anxiety issues or depression or other things, I think we
Well,
all suffer from it for, certain things.
one of the main reasons why people turn to substance abuse is
Mhm.
because they're struggling with their mental health, right?
Yeah,
Like they are trying to numb or um, dissociate or think about something else, and that's
yeah,
going to help them. So I think that the state and the federal government has seen that to reduce the substance use, especially amongst youth, we need to start talking, having conversations in different outlets than to just turn to those things.
absolutely.
And also getting their families healthy, because if the parents are having, struggling, then that is more likely to affect the children in the home.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
it's
and aren't
exciting.
they're also doing, they're gonna actually have part of their, um, drug, drug take back event,
Mhm.
at this. So if you have any expired or unused medications, you can bring them, and they'll have the safe disposal, box out there for them to be able to dispose of, any unused or unwanted medications, again, to keep it out of the hands of those that might misuse them,
Mhm.
protect our kids and things like that. So it'll
And
be really exciting.
another thing is, because Sherry did mention that it's Mental Health Awareness Month, tomorrow is our monthly coalition meeting. So that will be held at the Alvarado Library. Please, if you want to learn more about REACH, or if you're interested in being a part of our coalition, or if you think that there might be an event or something that you want to come partner and talk to us about, we would love to have you. It's at the Alvarado Library at noon. There will be lunch served,
Mhm.
and we just are always looking for different community partners that would love to partner with Reach. So please come join us at that. And we are going to be letting Mind Above Matter, they're going to
Oh, yeah,
do a
that's exciting.
presentation at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And we're going to hand out some just different stress things. And leading from that conversation is Rise.
Yes. I'm excited about the
I know.
conference.
So we have it's going to be our second annual. Is that how you say that? Second,
Yeah,
what are
2nd
they?
annual.
Rise conference at Pathway Church, and we're actually going to do a 2-day event this year. So October 13th in the evening, we're going to have different speakers from the nation come in that are going to talk about different topics.
Yeah.
We have a neuro scientist that's going to talk about mental health and brain activity, and just several other speakers that I mean, we're so pumped about our Rise this year, like just about how the conference is growing and
Yes.
where that's gonna get us.
And we
Yeah.
took a lot of information that people shared with us before, at the last one on, what they would like to see, at future events and things like that. So we took that into account, uh, when we started planning this.
Yes, and, I mean, we're thinking about the community, and we're wanting to touch everybody, and so it's men, women, families. We want kids over the age of 12 to come. We're hoping to have childcare again. Just and have fun,
Yeah.
come learn something. We want every person that attends Rise to walk away feeling a little bit better about yourself,
Yeah. And
understanding
knowing they're
that
not alone.
you're not alone, that it's just to break the stigma, right? And
Yeah.
not think that you are the, like we just said, the only person that's actually experiencing something, or that there's nobody else to talk to.
Mhm.
um, just suicide and those conversations, to be able to know that there's the place that you can get help, and that it doesn't have to be the end, because I know, especially in our younger generations, the kids, they're going through so much,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
with the social media and everything else, we just want everybody to learn healthy outlets. So there's going to be all kinds of different things, from yoga to art therapy to all kinds of fun
Yeah, all the
breakouts.
fun, yeah, the breakout sessions, I'm excited about those as well. I know that, we've asked Santana to come back because she
Mhm.
did the art therapy, and that was a really popular class
It
this last
was. My
time.
twins actually did that class with my mom, and they really enjoyed it. I mean, what there's and we're listing too, so if there's anything that you would like to be a topic at Rise, or some kind of conversation that you would like to have with us, we are always listening, because we know
Mhm,
that we might not be aware of everything that's out there, and
that's
we
true.
want to be able to really meet everybody, and make sure that we have something for everyone.
Absolutely. and I guess we'll probably have food trucks out there again
Yep.
to lunch, or you can bring your own lunch if you like. I mean, it's totally open, but
And our conference is free, and
yeah,
I think that is huge. We don't want anybody not, because I know with this economy, $10 or $15,
it can be a lot for
it
some.
can be a lot.
Yeah.
And gosh, everything this time of year with the schools, I'm like, when is it? Every other second, it's something else that they're wanting to
Yes.
as parents. And I know that they're just trying to make the kids have a good end of year, but it adds up. And it's, weren't we talking today about the grocery store?
Yes, how
And
expensive things are. Gosh. I was glad to see gas went under $3, so that was a plus. But yeah, it's like everything's costing more.
And I have, my twins are about to be teenagers, and so they go through everything so fast. And I got, I was telling Sherry today, a pound of lunch meat, and it was nearly $14. And I was like,
What is that?
wow, what is
That
in
is
this turkey? And they'll have it eaten by Friday,
yeah,
you know?
it doesn't last long, does it? Yeah, when you have growing boys in the house, groceries don't last very long. Yes.
No. And they're, oh, I'm like, I'm going to put a lock. I told them I'm going to have a checkout. There was a mom that did some kind of TikTok where she was giving the kids like a school menu. And
Yeah.
she was like, this is what time you can come down for breakfast. This is your lunch. This is your dinner. No coming in any other time. And then she put a lock up. And I'm just out the other day. I told you about this. I think I bought like a box of fruit roll ups on, say, a Sunday. And by
Yeah.
Wednesday, the box was empty and
Oh,
it was like
no.
a case from Sam's.
Oh my gosh.
No, we're
Hopefully a
not
lot
gonna
of
do
you get
that
a
all
snacks.
summer.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen. So that's why, going back to the rise, that was why we're not wanting to have a chart, just because everything is so
So expensive.
expensive. And this is gonna be fun. Like, we want, if it's a married couple that we want to attend, or a single mom or dad, we really do want everybody to be able to come and just find something. And Friday night, we're hoping to have some comedians just kind of
Yeah.
come break the ice and make it fun. And
Absolutely. And if if you're somebody that I mean, we're looking at vendors. I know that
oh
we're
yeah.
kind of a little bit limited in our space, but if you're interested in becoming a vendor, we want to have some sort of tie-in with mental health,
Mhm.
or being able to help and things like that. So,
And any resources for the community that
yeah,
do help. And it doesn't have to be, I guess, mental health specifically, but something that's just going to make families or individuals' lives easier, different outlets, things like
yeah,
that, anything kind of medical.
yeah. I mean, the library came last year, and
Yep.
she had various books that were available regarding mental health or self help, or ways to boost yourself and things like
And the
that.
school
So
districts participated just to
yeah,
be there for the students, and just to be a resource as well for parents to
yeah.
talk to.
I think
Um,
we also Dr. Collier, who was one of our keynote speakers, she had her book last year. So, and we're always talking about her book, the Neuro Whereabouts Guide. It's an
she's coming
awesome
out with
book.
a new book too.
Yeah,
I
I've
need to look.
heard. Yeah, we got to look that up.
I do. It makes me wanna do it right now because I never remember.
I know she was on another one of the episodes of Operation Parents, where she's done
Oh,
so
was
many of
she?
their webinars. She
Did you
yeah.
connect
Yeah,
them?
I did connect
That's so
them.
cool,
I
Sherry.
know it is, but she's such an amazing person, and she's got such good information. And of course, I love the people at Operation Parent, because they offer free webinars. I mean, they bring in some really good ones. They had one recently, what every parent needs to know about fentanyl, and the whole fentanyl awareness, because I mean, that's a big topic right now. We've had
Yeah.
so many, um,
Burleson ISD
poisonings
actually
and
sent out an email to the whole district yesterday about fentanyl awareness.
yeah. Well,
It was
yes,
from TEA, but
yeah. Well, yeah, and so what it is yesterday was, National Fentanyl Awareness
oh, okay,
Day.
that's why they did that then, I
Yes,
bet.
and so I was actually at the Waxahachie High School, and, some of our other staff was at the Global High, and I was, really impressed at how many kids. You never know how many kids are gonna walk up during lunch and ask, "What are you doing here?" and things like that, and, but anyhow, I mean, I was really pleasantly surprised at how many kids actually come up and interacted with us and talked to us. There was 3 different ones that said that they knew someone that had overdosed.
Really?
Yeah, which, oh, just broke my heart, to hear that. And one, when he shared, I think they were still in the hospital, that they were having some complications and things, but, they survived, which is a great thing that they survived. But as far as, we talked to him about how 6 out of 10 pills, now test positive to having a lethal dose of, fentanyl in them. And so the whole deal about the one pill can kill, um, the, Operation Parent had Song for Charlie on there that they did their parent presentation, and they had shared slides and stuff that they had. I don't know, it was a dozen or more kids that died only taking a half a pill, and but it was really good. I encourage you to go in and look up
Gosh, a
Operation
half a
Parent.
pill.
I know, can you imagine that? But they've got great webinars for parents, and on how to talk to your kids about various things and what parents need to know raising kids
Mhm.
in this day and age and what they're
Well,
exposed
they
to.
can just get it they are exposed to it so differently than we were. They can literally get it delivered to their door off of Snapchat.
Yeah,
Those pills, they say that 2 teenagers can split a pill, like you're saying,
yeah,
and one of them could get the half that's got the lethal dose, and the other
yeah,
one could be fine because
yeah.
it's not, like, dispensed into the pill
Yeah, evenly. Yeah, it's
evenly.
yeah, that chocolate chip effect is what they call that, is you never know. And then again, there could be enough in that pill that could kill both
Both
of
of
them.
them,
You
right.
just never know. And speaking of, the fentanyl awareness and everything, I did wanna mention another event that's gonna be coming up. The Venus Police Department, is actually doing a community event on fentanyl awareness, and they have our good friend, Callie Crow from Drew's 27 Chain. She's gonna come in and do the presentation, and Reach is gonna be, setting up an information table. I think we're gonna have actually one of Dr. Collier's books there for the drawing to where, they can sign in, and we'll probably be giving out some of those books. Some of the Operation Parent handbooks. I've got to look and see if we still have some of those because those will be a good handout also at the event. But that's actually going to be on. Let me double check myself on the date and time. It's going to be next Thursday, May the 11th. It will be at no tomorrow's. Oops, yep, that was my mic. Yeah, you're good. I was on the wrong calendar date. Go back in. Let's see. Tuesday, May the 16th is when the Venus fentanyl naloxone training and awareness is going to be taking place. It's going to be at the Venus Civic Center. I believe it starts at 6 p.m. So if you're in the area and you want to learn about fentanyl awareness, Callie Crow puts on an amazing presentation.
When is that again?
That's going to be next Tuesday, May the 16th, at the Venus Civic Center, and Kelly's going to be doing the presentation.
She does do amazing.
She does really good, and of course, she has a personal story on why she's got why she started Drew's 27 Chains, and
She's been
all
on
that.
our radio show,
Yeah,
and
she
then I
actually had a
think she
little show
has
for a while.
she did.
Yep.
And Venus a couple years ago lost
Several students
to fentanyl. So
poisoning.
that's good
Yeah.
that they are, doing this and partnering with Callie and
Yeah, so that'll be really good. Well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and get started on our topic tonight. So we're gonna be talking with Emma. Now I'm gonna say it wrong. Emma Dugas. She's with Mothers Against Drunk Driving in the Texas region.
Yes.
And she's joined us this evening. I'm going to read a little bit of your background so we give everybody your little bio. So, Emma is the state program manager for MAD Texas. She spent more than 4 years as a prevention professional, focusing on reducing drunk and drug driving and underage drinking. She serves on MAD's Underage Drinking Prevention Staff Advisory Board, the 24-hour Dallas Board of Directors, and Texas Impaired Driving Task Force, and many more, which I know she does because she is so super busy. Before joining MAD, Emma spent over 8 years in philanthropy.
I know,
Okay, that's a hard word. Okay.
It is hard.
Cultivating relationships with nonprofits for their capital endowment campaigns, and over 3 years educating young children in a school-age setting and parent-child driven programs. Emma is passionate about helping youth develop and engage in positive behaviors that nurture their well-being and set personal goals to live successfully as self-sufficient adults. She shares a personal quote: "Keep shining your light bright because you deserve to shine." Well, that's really nice. I like that. Thank you for joining us, Emma. We're so glad you were able to make it under traffic. It was a little hectic this evening. The
Where
roads
did
were a
you
little bit
drive
wet.
to from?
From Wiley, Texas.
So she
So it was far.
she got a good drive. Thank you for coming in and everything. We're excited to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I know we talked originally that we were going to do Alcohol Awareness Month, and
Mhm.
April just kind of flew by us.
The year has
did.
flown by.
Yeah, it really
Yes.
has. You're thinking we're fixing to, we're into the 5th month of the year. It's just
Yeah.
amazing
It's
to
almost
think about.
summer.
I know.
Like, when did that happen? So the
I
kids are
know.
going to get out of school soon.
Very soon. Very soon.
Oh my gosh.
In speaking of that, I know that one of the things that we do talk about a lot of time, for our teens and our teen drivers, that the time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is the most dangerous for them
Mhm.
on our roadways. And I was trying to recall what all it was, but I mean, and it's not necessarily distracted driving or underage drinking, but I don't know if it's just because more kids are on the road. Do you know what the background is on that right off?
So I know that it's called the 100 Deadliest Days
That's
of
it.
Summer.
Yes.
And I think it's just what you just said. I think it's
Combination of all of
because
it.
summer people are traveling more because
Mhm.
of vacation. That's when they take those vacations as a family, and plus school's out, so they're making those summer trips, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's one of the deadliest times of the year on our roadways.
Yeah. So
So is
better be
that just the
careful.
youth or is that all families and
All
age? Okay.
families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just kind of focused when I've heard it before that it's focused on teens. And I know that we kind of bring that up a little bit when we do our driving school class and everything. I know that's a little
Mhm.
thing that gets highlighted as well. But it's like I drew a complete blank on it's a statistic deal is what it's come out of is that's the most deadliest time for our teen drivers.
Mhm.
But it is, I mean, it's dangerous for everybody during that time because more people are traveling on the roadways and all.
Yeah. Yep.
So tell me, how did you get started working with MAD?
Well, I mean, like in my bio, I started out as a teacher right out of college, and but then I worked my way into fundraising, and I just miss being in front of the kids and
Yeah.
the parents, and so. But I just wasn't quite sure, to go back to actually teaching.
Mhm.
We did, as a family, we suffered a loss due to drugs and alcohol overdose.
Mhm.
My
Mm.
brother-in-law at age 23
Oh, geez.
overdosed. So when this job, when I was doing my job search and I saw this, and it seemed right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It seemed to hit all my passions, plus also help teens make those better choices,
Right.
help parents have those tools to start those conversations. So it just felt
I
right.
love that. I knew
Yeah.
there was a good story there.
Yeah.
You don't do this kind of work without a good story.
I know.
I
Yeah.
have met so many passionate people. This is one of the best companies I have ever worked for in my lifetime. They are passionate on what they do, and they're they're very passionate about you know being there for their employees, and also giving them the tools that they need to do the job.
Mhm.
And there's so much collaboration, and I love it.
That sounds great.
Now, y'all just recently had a new president, was
Mhm.
it that came on and everything? And even in the years past, I mean, there's so many of them that have such inspirational stories on how they got involved and all. What can you tell us about the new president? Have you had an opportunity to meet her yet?
So she is brand new. Her name
Mhm.
is Stacy Stewart.
Okay.
And I'm still learning,
Learning.
everything about her. We also have a new president as well.
Okay.
National president. The thing about our national president is the term is for every 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
And they always have to be a victim
Mhm.
or survivor. And in her case, she is a survivor. She was hit by a suspected drunk driver, and she is a young president. But she has a great story of how she became incapacitated for a time in her recovery, where she had to rely on her mother. to just do the basic necessities for a long period of time.
Oh, wow.
And she went through so many surgeries. I'm
Oh,
I'm
my
not for
goodness.
sure on the exact number, but I think it was like 17
Oh, gosh,
different
that's right.
surgeries, and she even still struggles with her actual one of her shoulders.
Okay.
And so she's still in that process. She might have to replace that whole shoulder. And so she's still struggling with
Struggling with
it,
it.
but she's very passionate and sharing her story, and she goes around the country and she attends all the events and speaking engagements, and also helping with legislation, that sort of thing.
They make good advocates for that. They have that personal story. Gosh, bless her heart.
Mhm. Yeah.
We're going down in turtles too. That went out really
So,
quick. Yeah.
A girl that I went to high school with in our mid-20s. So, and she was a young mother, passed away on 67's dangerous.
Yes.
And
I was
there
just
are a
on
lot of
there.
accidents that
Mhm.
because it's not, they're trying to work on it, but there's still not a wall. So there's a lot of drivers that get
Get on the wrong
intoxicated
way.
and go the wrong way on that road. And it's a lot in the same area. So
So
Jeez.
one of the things that we encourage people to do is, especially at night, because there's a
Mhm.
common day and time that these DWI crashes happen, and it's on Saturdays from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And so
Mm.
we encourage people who are on the roads, especially at night, to try to stay out of that left lane as
Yeah.
much as you can, because just
Oh,
like what
mhm.
you had said in
Mhm.
that experience, that these wrong way drivers or impaired drivers, they think that they're in that right lane.
Okay, hold that thought.
So-
I want us to come back and talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Y'all come back and join us for the second half of the Reach Across Johnson County segment on JoCo Community Radio.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleburne, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleburne, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleburne, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleburne, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
You're listening to JoCo Community Radio.
Well, welcome back to the second half of the Reach Across Johnson County segment on JoCo Community Radio. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store and check out our lineup and more at jococommunityradio.com. This episode and more is brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844.tex.HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. Well, I know that before we went to break, so just I can say this again, we've got Emma Dugas from Mothers Against Drunk Driving that has joined us today. And before we went to commercial break, we were talking about, the dangers of Saturday morning. You said from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. is kind of the critical point, and you were saying that it's best not to drive on that left-hand lane. So go ahead and talk about that a little bit more.
So, yes, the most common time for DWI crashes and arrests is during that Saturday nights from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. And a lot of that is because, the bars are closing, those parties are done, and people think that they're okay to drive, but they're not. Mm-hmm. Even just one drink can impair you. So we always encourage people who are on the road, and even if it's not during that time, it can be during the day, it can be any time, because crashes happen all the time, to try to avoid that left lane, because impaired drivers, they think when they are going the wrong way, they think they're in that right lane. Mm-hmm. And so that's how those head-on collisions happen. So if you can, avoid that left lane as much as you can.
I know last week they shut down 67 from 35 all the way to nearly Glen Rose, where they were doing, because there had been so many crashes going the wrong way that they were trying to, you might have heard about that, I don't know, but it was on social media where they were trying to really figure out what people were seeing, or with the road shut down, just to be like, what is going on where this is happening in the same kind of area, like on that.
One of the weird things that happened to me, and I was leaving a place that I wasn't just totally familiar with, coming out of an event at night in Midlothian, and they've, for the longest time, and I think sometimes this is a bad thing about growing up in an area, because you're used to it being a certain way.
Right.
And when they expanded that highway there at 287, when I first turned in, I thought I was turning in, and I realized I was on the wrong side of the road. Of course, I went through the ditch and got into the right lane.
Oh, wow.
But I'm wondering, and of course, I wasn't impaired. I hadn't been drinking and everything, but I thought when I was turning, it was weird because it wasn't completely lit up, because a lot of times I rely on that white line, and I don't know if it just wasn't there yet, or
was it night?
What. It was at night.
Yeah, I'm not a good night driver either.
I know, and
so
I've gotten where I have that.
People.
What is it, light or night blindness or something like that?
I have
that
astigmatism, and if you think about what you're saying, one drink for any, and that it's
scary.
It's scary.
It definitely impairs you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now I've heard too, and of course I haven't driven, other than that time, driven on the wrong side of the road, but isn't it like the lines or something is supposed to light up reflective red if you're driving on the wrong side of the road? Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not familiar with that. Okay. I know that they have those rigid on the sides to especially for like, drowsy, drowsy drivers.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, I saw something, and it was like it's supposed to be reflective. Like even if you go in, like where they have the signs that are backwards that tell you not to. But supposedly there's supposed to be something that reflects red. And but I'm thinking, if you're impaired, how are you? Would that even do it? So I don't know. But
did we talk about statistics?
No, let's talk about some of the statistics, because I know you said that you did have some that you could share with us.
Yes. So we try each year to stay up to date on all of those statistics, not just nationwide, but also a statewide and also countywide.
Okay.
And the way that I do that is I'll do what's called a impaired roundtable. And so this is when I invite all law enforcement, excuse me, and prosecutors, judges, and also community partners and community to come in and listen to all of the updated statistics and best practices. We know that we generally get our statistics from NHTSA, which stands for National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and we also get our statistics from TxDOT, which is Texas Department of Transportation.
Okay.
And NHTSA just released the 2021 statistics, and we learned that our numbers went up from last year, 14%.
Oh, wow.
And if you remember back in 2020, our numbers went up 14% that year as well.
Yes.
So we've learned that every day 37 people are killed in drunk driving crashes. That's every 39 minutes.
Oh,
Someone
wow.
is killed in a drunk driving
Now,
crash.
is that nationally or is that
That's national.
That's national. Wow.
We've learned that over 13,384 people were killed in drunk driving crashes in 2021.
Mm.
And so, like I had mentioned, that was a 14% increase from the previous year. And so we know that out of all the traffic deaths, which was over 42,000 in 2021, 31% of that is drunk driving crashes
Oh,
alone.
wow.
And so our numbers are going up. And so we need to do more. We need to educate more. We need to just get out in that community and help people understand that even just one drink can impair you. You are not okay to get behind the wheel. So if alcohol is in your plans, just plan ahead. We have so many options
Oh no.
out there, Uber, Lyft, and public transportation. But just always just plan. Just have that person that's
A designated yeah.
a non-drinking driver, not the person who drank the
Right.
least amount. So but yes, and so MAD is working hard to get out into the community and educate and have people understand that they need to plan ahead. We also want to educate those offenders as well.
Okay.
And so MAD does what's called a victim impact panel. And what this entails is that when they get in front of the judge and the judge sentences them, one of their sentencing is to attend a MAD VIP class. And so this is something that they have to pay for and they have to complete in order to complete their sentencing. And
Okay.
if they don't complete it, then a warrant will go out for their arrest and they can go to jail and be
Okay.
in violation.
Have y'all seen any stats where I guess, drunk drivers that are attending these classes, anything different on it happening again?
So we do have seen benefits to where it does help prevent that recidivism of them
Okay.
repeating, that second, third.
So is it something where they are kind of exposed to maybe the other side of what these families are enduring and going through when they've lost someone?
Right. We provide a victim speaker who come and share their story, and we have a VIP facilitator who comes in. It's either a victim services staff member or our VIP staff member who gives that education piece to the offenders and have them understand the consequences to their actions.
I think it's a little different when the offenders have to have a face on it.
Mhm.
When they have, especially if they're a parent or grandparent or something like that, and they're seeing another person hurting and not just go through the court system, but actually seeing a face, having feelings attached to that, and having to experience that.
Right. So that is something that MAD does to try to, not only just educate the community, but educate those offenders, and giving them resources, because if there is a problem of addiction or anything like that, they have the resources to get,
To get the help,
better, to
yeah.
get the help, so then that way it doesn't happen again. Um, so we have so one of the things that MAD does is we have a victim services team,
Okay.
and what their job is to work with those families who have lost loved ones to those crashes, and also survivors as well. And so we've actually we're almost at 1 million of
Oh,
people
wow.
that we have since we have started. We're at nearly 1 million people that we have helped as victims, and we provide those referrals to those victim families who need help. I think one of the biggest things that kind of impacted me
Mhm.
is MAD has a guide to help them make what's called an impact statement.
Okay.
Now, this is something that before the judge will sentence their offender, they allow the victim families to come on the stand and give a statement to their offender. And we have a guide that helps the victim families write that statement out. And the first time that I got to witness that, it was so impactful. I mean, it was just so impactful to hear the mom and the sister come and provide their statement to what they wanted
Oh,
to say
gosh,
to
I
their
bet it
offender.
does. Wow.
But
Does that make a difference in the sentencing or?
no,
Okay.
no, because it's actually already determined what the sentencing is before they even
Before they
get.
go.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
before
really?
they
I never knew that.
Yeah. So we and what I love about our victim services team is they're there with them from the beginning. So
Mhm.
that's why we rely so much on our law enforcement partners, because they are the boots on the ground. They are the first people that these victims
We'll see.
have
Yeah.
interaction
It's
with.
so hard.
And so we provide our information and we make those connections to our victim services team so they can refer these families to our team. And they work with the families through that whole process. The average DWI case lasts from 18 months to 24 months.
Wow.
So, I mean, that could be a long time for someone
To
who.
get closure, to have that, because
Exactly.
I feel like it would be a little healing to be able to get up and say what's on your mind to the person that
Yeah.
hurt your family.
So our victim services team will work with the prosecutor and work with the victim assistance team in the courthouse and help the families through that process. Because at that time, they want their offender to be charged with everything,
Yeah.
right? But it all comes down to what they can prove in court. So sometimes a prosecutor might go a different way to focus on one charge because they know they can prove that.
Mhm.
So the victim services team will help the family understand that process and help them get through it.
Well, that's good. That's
So, yeah.
awesome.
But one thing that I really wanted to just kind of talk about tonight is our Power Talk 21
Right.
campaign. So this is something that that I work on and that we work on throughout the country. So what that is we have a program that's called Power of Parents, and this is a evidence-based program. We've partnered with Dr. Robert Tarusi. He is a behavioral professor at Penn State. And so we adopted his research and his techniques in our Power of Parents program. And so our Power Talk 21 campaign, that runs from April 1st to the end of May. And that's when we encourage parents to start those conversations with their teens. We have learned through our research that children as young as 9 years old are already start viewing alcohol in a more positive way.
Okay.
And so we've learned that approximately 3,300 kids as young as 12 try marijuana each day as well. And so we want to encourage
It's
parents
so hard to hear.
to do their research, read, know what's going on in their community. I mean, because like y'all, Mari already talked about this, is that we're in the middle of a huge fentanyl crisis.
Yes.
And I know yesterday was Fentanyl Awareness Day. But that is something that parents really need to talk about, because there's no more, I'm just going to try this once to see how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
These dealers, they know how addicting fentanyl is, and that it's 100% strong, 100% stronger than morphine and 50% stronger than heroin. And so, since they know how addicted it is, they're putting it in everything, putting it in marijuana, they're putting it into counterfeit pills where something that looks like Xanax or
Oxycontin or Percocet.
right. So they think that that's what they're getting. Not that that is, you shouldn't be taking that unless the doctor prescribed it to you, but it's just something that we need to have those conversations. They as young as 9 years old, just to get that start
So
talking.
does the Power Talk kind of give parents a guide or like a lead on what to say or how to start those conversations?
So during this campaign, we schedule workshops with our Power of Parents program. And in this workshop, they'll learn techniques on how to start those conversations and be able to debunk those myths. Because a lot of kids, they have misconceptions or misperceptions of what is true and what's not true. And so that's why we try to educate in our workshop. We give them all the facts, and then we go over those techniques. And let me tell you, this has helped me as a parent. I have a junior in high school that has helped me educate him, and it's simple. It's simple. It's just how, what, and why questions.
Where do parents find out about how to attend?
So to get more information, you go to www.mad.org/powerofparents.
I'll add it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if they would want to go to a workshop, to just reach out to me directly at emma.dugas@mad.org. And so if you know a school or a PTA, or if you have, say, a Girl Scout troop or a Boy Scout troop that you want to educate the parents, let me know and we can put something together.
That's
And
awesome.
so, yeah. But I love this program. I love how it makes it more of a conversation instead of telling them what to do. We've learned through research that, teens who have parents that have that authoritarian style, they drink the most dangerously high levels of alcohol.
Oh, gosh.
And a lot of that is because of that rebel. Like, you
Yeah.
can't tell me what to do, and I'm going to do what I want. But the thing is, I know there's that transition, when they become that teenager, how they want to be more independent. They want to make their own decisions, have that privacy, and so it was difficult for me. It was difficult as a parent, making that transition.
Yeah.
And these techniques really help. They help you how to find the right environment to have this conversation. Like, I learned that for my son, we have the best conversations when it's just me and him in the car.
Yeah.
And it becomes, a very close but conversation where we're trusting each other. We work together and come up with those phrases on how would you handle someone offering you drugs and alcohol? Like, what do you do? What do you say?
That's good to practice that. So did
Yeah.
you say that parents could email you and they could set up where you maybe could come to a school or do a training? Oh, okay. What was
Yes.
your email again?
Sure. It's Emma, EMMA Dugas,
DUGA.
DUGAS
Okay.
at mad.org.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, I try to reach out to school districts and nonprofits like the Boys and Girls Club or communities and schools. Like I try to partner with them so I can go in front of the parents and talk to them. We also have a teen program called Power of Youth, where it's that same concept that, learning those dangers and consequences of underage drinking and drug use, and then going over those strategies on how to be prepared in those situations. Another thing that we have is we have a teen influencer program.
Oh, nice.
So, one of the things that our teen influencers came up with this year was safe prom tips, and they had a phrase called "Keep calm, have a safe prom."
Oh,
And so I know that prom season is pretty much almost
some of them are
over.
winding down. Yeah.
But I did just kind of want to give you those tips that they listed is to celebrate sober, don't let friends drink and drive, don't accept any drinks from someone you do not know,
Mhm.
learn the warning signs of alcohol poisoning and drug intoxication, and know where you are and where you are going, and to always talk to your parents and let them know where you are and where you're going. Trust your instincts, and if you feel endangered or uncomfortable, leave immediately.
Those are really good.
Yeah. So if
And that'll apply to we've got graduation parties
Mhm.
and things, that graduation season is
Mhm.
coming up, so that would apply there as well. So that's
That's right.
awesome.
Is there any, I guess the parents that might be listening can go to the mad.org and get any kind of conversation tips, or I'm sure there's tons of
Mhm.
information that they can get on the website, right?
Right. Yes, mad.org / power of parents. Those are
Okay.
all you can actually download the handbooks for free.
Okay.
Nice.
There's also videos from Dr. Robert Tarusi that he touches on different topics
Okay.
on why it's important for teens to wait till they're 21. Of course,
I tell mine 25.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, our brain
I
doesn't
know.
finish developing until our mid-20s,
Yep.
and we've learned that it has long-lasting negative effects on those learning and memory functions
Yeah.
when you
Start
drink.
drinking early.
Right, and it
Yeah.
actually can rewire their brain for addiction.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we definitely want. I always when I do these workshops, I always encourage the teens and the parents have a plan in place before you go
Before you
out.
go out. Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes perfect sense.
I think some. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I think sometimes parents don't want to have those conversations until they've got to, because there's a
Mhm.
reason we have to have this discussion. But so much easier just to
It'll be
start
proactive,
having it all
yeah.
the time, and those easy just conversations where the kids can engage with you before it's where they're guilty or they're struggling with something.
Right, right. And that's one thing that we go over in the presentations is that we have to find out that why.
Yeah.
When if they make a mistake, say hypothetically they actually drink and you catch them, or they do drug use and you catch them. Yes, there's going to be consequences, and you can deal
Mhm.
with that, but we have to find out that why,
Mhm.
because if we don't, it's going to keep
Happening
happening.
again. Yeah.
So yeah.
Jeez. Good information. And I know we're getting down in the last couple of minutes. Is there anything else in particular that you want to share that you've got coming up, or
Well, I mean, of course, we have our big Walk Like Mad event
Oh,
that
yeah.
comes up in the fall. It's usually in October. So,
Is that nationwide or
no, it's different in every state. Actually, in each region, it's different.
okay?
Some do it later, some do it earlier, but here in North Texas, we do it typically in October.
Okay.
And
when
it's
it's a little bit milder?
yeah.
Right.
And it'll more likely be in Irving, Texas.
Okay.
That's where our national headquarters is located, so they tend
Okay.
to stay in that backyard. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. And if you would like to like or follow our Facebook page, it's I mean, of course, we always like for you to follow our national Mad National, but the state of Texas has their own Facebook page. So if
Okay.
you could go to @MadTexas, that is our Facebook page, and then Instagram is mad.texas.
Okay.
And so, yeah, please feel free to like and follow us, and that way you can keep up to date on crashes that happen in our area, and then any type of updated statistics and events and that sort of thing.
Well, that's good to know.
And I'm going to be contacting you in the fall because one of our local school districts is wanting parent information trainings, which is exciting.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you limited to the area that you can go to?
Can you come to, like, if it was this city?
Now I can.
You can
Since I have unrestricted, I can.
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
I
Yay.
can go outside of those certain counties. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and
That's
if
good.
I can't, then I
You
try
could
to
help
find
me, someone that
somebody.
could.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
But we're always looking for volunteers. If
Oh,
you,
I was going to ask about that too. Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all, I guess we shared Emma's email in our the chat bar. So feel free to contact Emma if you are interested in volunteering or how you can serve MAD.
absolutely, I always have a saying that the more connections we make, the more opportunities we have to make a change.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great.
Because we can't do it alone. We
You need
can't.
to add that one to your little, I know,
Yeah,
personal quotes
absolutely,
right
yeah.
there.
Well, thank y'all very much for tuning in this evening to the Reach Across Johnson County segment on Joco Community Radio, and we hope to see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor